Well, here now, Republican Congressman Mark Green from Tennessee, a member of the House Foreign Affairs and Armed Services Committees. He's also an Army veteran who served in Afghanistan. Congressman, thank you for being with us today. I want to start by getting your reaction to the latest developments in Afghanistan, and if you would, particularly around the question of what kind of terrorist threat might grow from how quickly the Taliban has taken control and occupied, really, Afghanistan once again.
Well, thanks for having me on the show. This is obviously very upsetting to those of us who served there to see how rapidly, basically, President Biden has capitulated to the Taliban. During the Trump withdrawal, they actually stopped their withdrawal 3 times, bombed the Taliban. The Taliban went back into compliance. Yet here, we actually refused to do that. Pulled the contractors, pulled the support for these guys. It is incredibly upsetting to see what's going on. The terrorist threat, it's absolutely 1,000 times exponentially worse. And when you couple that with an open border that this president has created, where we're already capturing tons of people on the terrorist watch list, got 2 from Yemen just the other day, Americans are at greater risk because of this president. What's happened in Afghanistan, what's happening at our southern border. And right now, Americans, thousands of Americans are trapped. The greatest hostage crisis in the history of this country, created by President Joe Biden.
Congressman, you know what you're talking about on terrorists in Afghanistan. Your words there are very sobering. I think a lot of Americans are sitting at home saying, okay, where's the accountability? The administration got this wrong terribly. It may have put us in much graver danger than we have been in at any time in the last 20 years. We're not seeing a lot of moves toward accountability from the administration. Can Congress get involved here and do something? I think a lot of people are asking for somebody to step in and get some real answers.
Well, I certainly hope that the oversight that does happen isn't just, whitewashing, as we'd say, like a wall or something like you're painting over a wall, because that's what the COVID Oversight Committee has been. The Democrats have refused to go after China and find out the real origin of this virus. So I anticipate that we're going to see some attempts from them to blame this on Trump, to blame this on someone else. But the truth of the matter is, and everybody in America knows whose fault this is, it's Joe Biden's. And hopefully the Democrats will allow real oversight. They're the ones that control this in the Congress when they're in charge.
Congressman, I listened to National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan on many occasions in his briefing today talk about how clear the president has been on all of these issues for weeks and months. And I'm sitting there watching it thinking, if he'd have been clear on any of this, we wouldn't be having these conversations right now. To me, there was a complete lack of clarity, and the problem is compounded by the fact that the administration simply won't say, we got it wrong and we have to fix it. Do you have any confidence that the leadership in the intelligence and defense communities here can somehow get control and start to right the ship and write the messaging so that we can restore credibility in what the administration's doing?
Well, I don't really care much about the credibility of this administration, to be completely honest. I care about the American people who are trapped in Afghanistan. The problem is not, in my limited assessment as I'm talking to individuals at both state and DOD, I think the DOD was working on the timeline the president gave them. It was the wrong timeline. General Milley told him, don't withdraw, put more troops in, we've got to stabilize the situation. He just totally ignored them, told them to execute the withdrawal. State just sat on their hands and did nothing. And they got caught with all these people. They hadn't moved any of them. The real tragedy, though, is President Biden tried to paint a falsehood about that by saying the Afghanis didn't want to go when there were already 18,000 applications, that's individuals, plus 53,000 family members who'd been applying for months. And the State Department hadn't moved any of them. And here's Biden saying, oh, well, they didn't want to go. I mean, I don't care about the credibility of this president right now. I care about the Americans. He has no credibility.
Congressman, anything you can do to help this situation, the American public appreciates it. We appreciate your perspective today.
We're helping people get across the perimeter. My team is talking to folks, working with former military. We're getting people in. It's just not because of state, that's for sure.
One way or another, Congressman, thank you for being with us today. We appreciate it.